Hello, class. Welcome to session 6. We are getting down to getting pretty close to the finish line this week and one more week before we're done with this semester. So I'm sure you're excited to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And let's get into this week's discussion. We're going to be discussing character as it applies to ethical dilemmas and ethical scenarios. This week, we have an ethical scenario for you to write about that involves an elderly man being caught shoplifting at a store, and you place yourself in the role of the police officer that is responding to that shoplifting call and find out that he has shoplifted, I believe it's some food and some laundry detergent. And he claims that he's on a fixed income. He just can't afford these items. They're necessities, and he had to steal them in order to survive. And the dilemma is how you respond to that scenario. Uh, with that scenario in mind, let's talk a little bit about what the textbook has to say about character and ethical dilemmas. One of the things that Aristotle pointed out when it comes to ethical dilemmas is that there's not an individual dilemma every time. Dilemmas are actually solved by the kind of person that we are. So he pointed out a better question than what should I do is who should I be? What kind of person should I be? And then that will help inform how you will decide every ethical dilemma that follows from there. Instead of saying, okay, this is an individualized decision, let me take into account all the factors of this scenario. Instead of doing that, Aristotle recommends using your entire being, your entire person. Who you are will help you decide how to handle all scenarios. One thing that he brings out to help people find out who they are or who they should be, and you can apply this to the scenario if you'd like, is something called the golden mean. Mean being a mathematical term, means right in the middle, kind of like an average. So you've got the extreme on one side, the extreme on the other side, and then right in the middle you've got the mean. So the examples that are brought up, you can have gluttony on one side and starvation on the other side, and then eating just the right amount to keep you healthy in the middle. You can be stingy on one side and completely throwing away your money on the other side, but right in the middle is the right answer. And a lot of times when it comes to character and virtues, that point right in the middle is the point that helps you make the right decisions. If you abide by that idea that somewhere in between the two extremes there's going to be a perfect response, then you can apply that especially to this week's scenario. So let's look at some of the options for the scenario, specifically for the scenario of the elderly man who's caught shoplifting. What are our options there as a police officer? We can go in there and first arrest him, you know, by the book, letter of the law, take him to jail, return the items back to the store, and go about our business and go on to the next call. That's one extreme. On the other extreme, you could say that he needs to live. He has, he'll die without the food, and you just completely ignore the radio call, ignore the store manager who's found the shoplifting offense, and just go about your business. Let the man go. So those are probably, I think, the two extremes that I can think of. Ignoring the idea that he shoplifted and just letting him go, or on the other hand, taking him to jail and filing a report and essentially sending him into the criminal justice system. So those are the two. So let's think about what our options are in between there. Do we have options? Can we buy the items ourselves? Will that solve the problem? Is that moral? Is that an ethical decision? Will it encourage more shoplifting? Every decision comes with repercussions and further actions. So if by buying the items ourselves and giving them to the old man, does that negate the crime? Not necessarily. Will it encourage him to continue? Perhaps. We could speak to the store manager and explain the situation. Maybe the store manager was not aware of the man's plight, his this living situation, and maybe there's some mercy that can be shown from the store manager and not elect to have the old man arrested. What about some services? Are there maybe we still have to take the man to jail, but by going into the criminal justice system, we can find some social services to help him in the future. Sometimes going into the court system, going into the criminal justice world will allow prosecutors, uh, advocates, things like that to get involved and end the cycle of crime. In this situation, I'm sure there are plenty of social services that perhaps the man is not aware of that he can be introduced to from within the criminal justice system. So those are some ideas where you don't necessarily have to go to both extremes to to find the right answer, to find the ethical solution. There are sometimes, or more than sometimes, there are almost always options that are somewhere in between the extremes. Uh, so that's what I want to talk about this week. As always, I look forward to reading your posts as well as this week reading your ethical dilemma paper. If you have any questions, by all means, reach out to me. You have my contact information, and we will speak soon.